Hey guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to install VMware and then install Kali Linux onto a VM so you guys can use it to kind of access on a different system rather than your own. It's just safer that way. First thing we're going to do is go to VMware. You're not going to click this, you're going to click Fusion and Workstation. We're going to click download there. It's going to take us to a sign-in page. You're going to want to enter your credentials. So now once you guys have entered your credentials, first thing you guys are going to want to do is go to here, free software downloads available. Click that. Type in VMware. Keep in mind you can use any browser. I'm just using Opera just so everything's kind of like blank. Don't click VMware Fusion unless you are installing on a Mac. If you are installing on a Mac, click VMware Fusion. I'm not going to do it just for the sake of simplicity. I might release a Mac version if you guys want me to. But click VMware Workstation Pro. So once you guys have done this, you're going to want to hit Windows because you're installing this on a Windows system. And then just click the latest release, which is 17.6.3. I already have it installed, so I'm not going to go through this process, but it's pretty straightforward. Now, what you guys are going to want to do is go to kali.org, hit download, hit virtual machines. Then you're going to want to click this only once, and then it'll start downloading, as you guys can see here. So I'm downloading on Chrome. There will be something similar on the top right where you guys can download. Okay guys, once you guys have completed the download, you can either choose to open it here. Google will have something similar where you just click this and it'll show you within Google itself the download or in a folder. I'm just going to simply click it, drag it onto your desktop. There you go. Make sure you have WinRAR installed for this, I forgot to mention, but you're going to need WinRAR. All you have to do is just search WinRAR. Click this. It's free. It's not going to have any viruses. I mean, this has been around for a while. Just have to click download. Really straightforward process. You can even uninstall it afterwards. It's up to you. But now that we've got it on our desktop, first thing you guys are going to want to do is right click this file. So now with WinRAR, we're going to click extract to. This will create a folder for us on our desktop. We don't want it to be a zip file. We don't want it to be any kind of compressed. We want it to just be a folder that looks exactly like this. So now that we've actually downloaded, finishing downloading the file, we can just delete this. You're gonna want to click the folder, click it again, and then right here, this is the file you're gonna want to click. It's the config file to create your VM machine. Don't click any of this stuff. So just click it once. It'll launch up VMware automatically. And now it's created the machine. I already have 2 machines here, as you guys can see. But listen, this is a really important step that you guys don't want to miss. So click Edit Virtual Machine Settings. This is where you're going to kind of mess with, memory and processors and whatnot. I'll teach you guys kind of how to figure out what settings are best for you. But 32 is around the maximum you're going to want to be at. If I were you, I would set it to actually, if you have a lower end device, you might want to set it at around 6,000. I set mine at 25, which is just 25 gigs really. I have a higher end PC. I have a lot of storage. It's really up to you guys. You guys can even look up, what might be best for you based on your hardware, which you can just give to ChatGPT and give it all this information. It'll, tell you what you need. So this is important, knowing the number of processors and how many cores you have. So this guys will actually give you a recommendation on what you guys should use for your computer, so you don't have to worry too much about knowing exactly your processors and number of cores, etc. So for example, if I just put 8, it tells you, um, you know, might be a bad idea. So I mean, you can check. You do Control Shift Escape, go to Task Manager, go to Performance, and click CPU. It'll tell you your CPU and then how many processors and cores you have. I have 24 cores and 32 processors. So not using a lot of my computing power is smart to use on a VM because you're running 2 machines basically. You don't want to stress out your computer too much. Not really gonna do good for you in the long term. You don't really need that much anyway. So when it comes to graphics, you guys are going to want to make sure that it's accelerated. If you care that much about graphics and you have a higher end PC, that's the only when you really need to. You don't necessarily have to. I suggest it. I like it like this. That's just me. Everything else, you really don't need to kind of worry about, except for the disk file, because this is where you're going to be storing all your stuff. If I were you, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier, I would, well, let me first press OK to the changes I made, so it makes those changes on here. But I would take this folder, and then if you go to this PC, um, choose whatever drive. If you only have one, that's fine. But choose whatever drive that has the most room. So if I were you, I would make a file that says VM, like for example this, or even ISO files, and I would drag this and drop it into here. Just for the sake of storage, it's much smarter that way. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial. Let me know if you guys want a Mac version, and hope to see you guys at the next meeting. So I actually forgot to mention real quick, if you do end up wanting to delete your VM for whatever reason, which sometimes is a good idea, because storage and whatnot, all you're gonna have to do is just double click this, make sure that this whole screen appears, press manage, and then press for delete from disk. In the event that you want to make sure that you're completely safe and you don't screw anything up and you don't have to do this whole process again, all you have to do is just press clone and it creates sort of like a restore point for you. If you're on a lower end device, I wouldn't recommend doing this just because it kind of takes up more storage than you need. But regardless, the only worry there is storage because you're not running two virtual machines at the same time. But I mean, as you can see here, I have a clone here and then I have one that I use. So I have like a restore point, so I don't have to worry about this. But as you can see here, it's a pretty straightforward process, and it just deletes it from everything. So yeah.